Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for tuning into the Kilat Shari Torah daily review of Maimonides' Sefer HaMitzvah, 613 mitzvot. Also, since it's Elul, we are sounding the shofar every weekday morning through next Sunday, a week from this Sunday morning, which is Erev Rosh Hashanah. On Erev Rosh Hashanah itself, we do not sound the shofar to distinguish between the customary tkiyas and the mitzvah and the tkiyas of mitzvah, which are on Rosh Hashanah. So for today, the 26th of August, Thursday the 26th, we'll sound the shofar and also remind you that slichot, the extra penitential prayers that we say in the days leading up to Rosh Hashanah, begin this Saturday night. Motzei Shabbat, we'll have a class at 11, and the slichos at midnight, and they'll proceed from there at 7:30 each weekday morning, starting next Monday until through Erev Rosh Hashanah. Up to the mitzvahs now in Maimonides' list of positive commandments that have to do with the Eved Ivri, a Hebrew servant. Now, what we're talking about here is not a slave in the sense of a person is owned, is like chattel, something that's bought and sold and bartered by the owner, as was the practice in America through its early years. Rather, we're talking about a bondman, someone who sold themselves into sort of an indentured servitude, in keeping with Torah law, to relieve their debts. That's how people would pay off debts before there was credit cards and home equity mortgages and all that. They would sell themselves into servitude for a certain amount of time to work off the debt. So there are laws which govern the Eved Ivri, or the Shifcha, the Jewish bond-maid, indentured servant girl. So let's speak about those three mitzvot altogether. Mitzvah of an Eved Ivri, of a Hebrew bondman, was like that of a laborer hired for a certain period of time, a maximum of 6 years, and he goes free on the seventh year, on the Shemitah year, and we have to ensure that servant, that indentured servant, is not forced into any humiliating work. So he can't wash the feet of his master, put his shoes on, or carry his things before him on the way to the bathhouse, or anything else like that. It's a great number of restrictions upon what a Hebrew bondman is able to perform that led the sages in Tractate Kedushin to say that buying a Hebrew slave for oneself, acquiring a Hebrew slave, is like buying a master for oneself. Similarly, a Hebrew bondmaid, if a servant girl becomes an indentured servant, once she reaches the age of majority, she can't be held as an indentured servant on her own or under the power of her parents, because they don't have any jurisdiction over her anymore. So the master or the son of the master is supposed to marry her, which of course is not the romantic kind of marriage that we think about, but rather a way of supporting this person. Of course, if she wishes, she can go free, and that is a separate mitzvah in itself. Positive mitzvah number 234, redemption of a Hebrew bondmaid. The duty of redeeming a Hebrew bondmaid devolved upon her father. So where the master or the master's son, a decision was reached that she would not marry them, the father was compelled, even though, remember, the original reason that he may have entered her into this contract for indentured servitude was poverty. Nevertheless, the father's obligation is to seek ways of redeeming his servant daughter, lest that be a negative reflection upon the family. Let's see, where do we discuss this? Discussed in the Mechilta in one of the Midrashim, but the mitzvah itself is in chapter 21 of the book of Exodus. Okay, so we will leave it there for today. One more law, a little bit more complex to speak about, with the law of a Eved Kanani, a Canaanite indentured servant. We'll speak about that tomorrow, so please join us for that. Have a good day.